Hi, hey, hello. Don't mind. Can you see? It's Hudson Williams in the background. Anyways, welcome to this vlog. What this is going to be is essentially my third entry into my Reading from Limit 1 romances. And the TBR is not fully decided. I do have my handy dandy notebook in my cellular device. Here's the thing. I personally own Fast and Reckless. I think I should I put the books here? We'll put the books here. I have Fast and Reckless, which I personally own because I saw someone on TikTok say that was like her number one that she read, I think, like 30 Formula One romances last year, and that was like her top one that she told everyone to read. And so I thought, well, there's that one. And then I have Driven to Distraction, which I believe I can get off of Hoopla, which is just a gay Formula One romance. I'm not giving you any of these synopses because I don't really even know what they're about. At one point, they interested me. And so I said, boom, bada bing. So there's that option. Then I have Coming in Hot, which I don't really... I'm thinking about giving her another try because the first book really rubbed me the wrong way. But I'm willing to just see because there's only so many... Well, actually, there are a lot of Formula One romances, but I sometimes truly get turned off by cover art, and I know I should look beyond the cover, but unfortunately, this is who I am. And then lastly, I think I have an indie published that went trad, which is like Lights Out. So, those are literally like the 4 books I'm kind of sort of working with. So we'll see. If this is your very first Formula One romance like episode from me, I essentially just read them, tell you if I like them, and whether or not I think this could actually happen in real life. That's what we're going to be doing in this vlog of sorts. I think, honestly, today they're starting pre-testing. So, cheers to that. And, yeah, anyways, catch you in the next clip. Did I read the back of this F1 romance? No. Do I know what the premise is? No. Am I but 7 minutes in and already want a DNF? Shit. The female main character is already insufferable in 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I was like, what is this? What a way to start my F1 vlog of like, what if I DNF within the first 10 minutes? Should I keep going? Should I give it at least 30? Tough. You know what? I'll give it 30. I'll give it 30. I'll give it 30. I'll get it to, yeah. We'll just, yeah. Alright. I DNF'd the Formula One romance. I want you to know that I was going to push through her insufferableness because it's like I should have known she was going to be insufferable because the other female main character in her other book was also insufferable, and not in a good way because I do really enjoy a like pissy, whiny, bratty, grumpy female main character. Oh, but there was something about her. It's just, you know, I tell her that she's been blessed with like good looks and she's never really had to work for anything, and now she's like chasing this man, and then they're like in the shower. I didn't realize I was in the prologue. I thought this was like chapter 1. And they're in the shower. And she then, because I was really going to try to make it to 30 minutes of just being like, well, that'd be about like 100 pages or so. Well, I think an hour is 100 pages. I don't know. Anyways, I was going to give it more time. But then she informed me through the narration that while they were, he lets her use the shower because she makes a comment. And then she like, I don't know how to use the massager. So he's like, you want company? And she's like, yeah, here I am naked. So she gets naked. And then they're in the shower together. And then she, right, I'm getting narrated the smut. But then I am informed that he traverses the areola. And that language is crazy. In the sense that I'm sure she meant his thumb is just like going around town, but not hitting the jackpot. But instead, all I can see is like a Jeep or like a BMX bike, like going up and down hills, traversing the muddy landscape. So I just said, and we're done. We're done. Oh, so that's one F1 book out of the way, I guess. How unfortunate for me, because I only I'm gonna have to listen to the other audiobook at this point. Anyways, not a good time. Just like her other book. Well, no, her other book, I could stand I could tolerate the insufferableness that was the female main character, and I did not like the backstory of the male main character, and the smut was, for my memory, a good time. Enough for me to commit to the bit. And this I was like, ooh, no. Also, it's giving, I think I'm going to read the back of the book or the summary at some point. But for some reason, it's giving Toto Wolff. And that also freaks me out. So, I guess I'll catch you guys in the next one. When I can read you, in the next clip, when I can read you the description / maybe on to the next book. Because that was banana beans. For sure. All right. If you hear weird noises, it's the ambiance room. I am 64 pages in to Fast and Reckless. What is this book about? I'm going to read you the synopsis. He's the one man she can't have. Mira Wentworth knows Will Hawley is trouble, even if he revs her engine. Flirting with the handsome new driver on her father's Formula One team is not in the cards. Mira has sworn off on-track romances after a teenage mistake cost her everything. Now she has a chance to win back her spot in F1 as a team assistant, and she's not going to let one cheeky bad boy driver get in her way. She's the one woman he wants. After his party boy antics nearly blow up his racing career, Will is finally back in the driver's seat and determined to get onto the podium. He likes to think he's reformed, but with one look at the boss's daughter, he's willing to risk it all. As the heat builds between Mira and Will, their chemistry deepens into something more. But then the ugly events of the past come to call. Their fragile new relationship is put to the test. Can Mira and Will's love cross the finish line? All right, so far. 60 pages in. It's a little dramatic for me right out the gate, for sure. And it's moving like a smidget too fast. Like, at 64 pages, they've already nearly kissed. That's not fun at all. But I am slightly intrigued because I kind of want to know the leaf blowers never end at this apartment complex. Every day, all day. Makes you want to fight somebody. But I just kind of want to know what happened in her past. So, I'm sticking with it currently. Anyways, that's how I feel. I'm going to go back to reading. / eating the cookie my roommate baked. Oh, oh. I finished it. The fire ambiance is still going. Dude. I'm not a fan. First of all, it felt boring. Secondly, it felt stupid. I think what frustrated me of all of it was that it felt all... Sorry, my roommate was in the kitchen. Here's the thing. Where was I? It all felt fast for it as... Well, perhaps not fast for a romance novel, but I guess faster than I prefer for sure. There were many things I was not a fan of. One, I really am realizing in the handful of F1 romances that I've read, I really don't like when the calendar is out of order. I really don't. Like, I thought Bahrain being first was just because, like, in the last couple of years, Bahrain was first because of everything. And then they went back to, like, it being Melbourne. But it really bothers me. Because she had Austin before the summer break, and then she had Silverstone, and then she had Spielberg, and I was like, I hate this. And like, they were all over the place, and I just don't like it. And granted, like, the schedule does change, but I feel like Austin is never before the break. It's just never before the break in all 12 years, 13 years, 14, 16 years. Let's see. Actually, I can't do math in my head. 14 years. Girl, you were right the first time. I don't think it's ever been before the summer break. And she had it before the summer break. We went from Singapore to, like, Austin. And then from Austin back to Silverstone. And then Silverstone to Monza, which is relatively correct, to Spielberg, which I feel like that's in the wrong place. But I actually can't remember where Austria is on the calendar. Anyways, I just don't like it. I think it's because I just, as someone who's gone to USGP several times, I'm like, no, that is in October. And it needs to be there. Quit it. What are we doing? So I didn't like that. And I think the big premise of her as a female main character, like, thinking like she ruins everything, like everything is her fault, and she ruins everything, to come to find out like what the issue is, which is just, here's your spoiler, is that, like, when she was 16, she was at the Formula 1 races, and a 30-year-old driver took advantage of her, and one could say statutory assault. You know? Even if she said that she was like a willing participant, she was 16. And apparently, because it happened everywhere, it's like, fine. They can't contest anything in the courts, because apparently in every other country, 16 is fine. So, and so she was like, I can't be with you, I'll ruin everything. Oh, it's not funny, but I actually hate it. So I hated that. He was okay. She collectively, other than like that premise, was like fine. Nothing to really write home about for either of them. I do think it's crazy. Here's another spoiler. She gets eaten out on top of the car. And I don't think it was written well in the sense that, like, in order for it to work right, you've seen a Formula 1 car. I'd imagine if you clicked on this, you know what they look like. Right? She would have to be laying here, and he'd have to step in front of the front wing, right? And, like, squat and, like, pull her up, because, like, he'd be hitting. You know what I mean? Unless he's just, like, bent over the whole time. But then it makes it sound like he laid her, like, that he just plopped her right here and then, like, laid her down. And it's like, but she's got no, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then you're just going to pull her up because, like, maybe, but I don't think it was written well enough to, like, fully articulate what was going down. And then, spoiler again, when he wins the world championship, because of course he does. Duh. It sounds like she's like, he's standing on the seat of the car, so he's standing inside the seat of the car. Because if you watch, they often, like, will stand on the halo sometimes, or just like the front of the car, like right here, and it made it sound like he's sitting in the seat of the car, which is inside the car. And then I'm just like, and then he like pulls her up, so I'm like, so then is she standing on the car? And then I beg the question of, wouldn't that fuck up the FIA, because no one's allowed to touch the car? So is she allowed to climb on the car like that? Wouldn't that violate some sort of like Parc Fermé post-race regulations? And that's all I could think about, because I was like, why is she on the car? So, I mean, I'm not super mad about my time. I think I gave this a 2.75. How realistic do I think this would actually go down? I could see an F1 driver hooking up with like an assistant, sure. But like, I don't know. I'm not mad at my time, but I am kind of annoyed that it wasn't a better story. 4 hours of my life. But you know, it was 4 hours not on the internet. Actually, that's a lie, because I was on the internet while listening to it. So, but I was looking at jobs. So, what is that called? Multitasking. I was multitasking, listening to the story, looking at jobs. And I wasn't doom scrolling. I don't know what I'm going to read next. It's been, when you saw me from the first book that I read, it's been about weeks. With an S was the last time I showed up. So, I think one of the audiobooks I had, I think is basically due. Yes, one of the audiobooks is due in 2 days. Oh, look, I have the audiobook for that, so maybe I'll do that. I've got now the ebook and both the audiobook for Racing, can you see? Racing Hearts. And I had an arc of it, so I guess I should read it and then, like, review it, so my score goes up. Tough. So maybe that's what I'll read. Ugh, well, this shall be unhauled for sure. Bummer. Bummer. But it's gotta go. Catch you guys in the next clip. Y'all, you should see the way you guys are balanced on my windowsill. Anyways, we're on to book 3, which is Racing Hearts. This was an arc I had that I did not get to, and I'm getting to now. Here's the summary. Are you ready? I got so excited because I didn't realize it was fake dating. What is that? Ready? Hello? Sir. Madame. Gentlefolk. Okay. We have Georgia's making history in the F1 world as the lead racer for the first all-female team. Already at the top of her game, she wants to win the World Drivers' Championship, but that means proving herself among the men. Luca's racing career has been quite different. A whirlwind of fame and women, but his love for racing is starting to wane, and after a reckless yacht incident, you think it happened in Monaco, he now faces losing his precious Hermes seat. That's just, I think it's so funny. It's Hermes. Anyways, while at the club post-race, Georgia and Luca faithfully cross paths. Although it's only a drunken, meaningless kiss, the paparazzi Ferrari strike, and the fans love it. With the best PR either of them have had, their teams urge them to continue a fake romance until the end of the season. But how far will they go for their careers and reputation? And will they be crossing the finish line together? Contains mature themes. Okay. Oh, how fun. It's 2 narrators. I guess let's get started. I have it on audiobook and I have it on ebook. I think I'm going to start with it tandem, and then when I get settled into the story, I think I may just listen to it auditorily because I do need to pack for Austin / make my bed, do other things. Let's go. Let's get started. Also, if you hear noises, it's because the fire's going. Dude, okay. I thought I was gonna hate this. In the first chapter I said, I don't know if I like this vibe. But I'm 7 chapters in, or relatively 16% in. And I think this is gonna be yummy. I think this is gonna be delicious. I also have to correct myself. I don't know what my brain and my eyes thought I was doing, but it's not Hermes, it's Hermes. He drives for Hermes. So, there's that. But, yeah, I don't know why, but it's in this current moment, it's feeling like a good time. I'm excited. I'm excited. Ah, that's also dead. This book is really ending with a bang, dude. Well, I finished it. And we're hours later, and what are my thoughts? Overall, it was a good time. It wasn't the best written book that I've ever read. It was a delightful time and had me giggling. I truly enjoyed their banter. Was it super believable that these were the characters that were in there based on like what I was being told and showed? No, not really. But I had a good time with it. I think I'm giving it like a 3.75. I would give it a 4, but just the fact that it felt like it was missing paragraphs, and sometimes I was like, you're showing me, but like that this is what these characters are doing, and yet I don't fully believe it. So it wasn't 100% like believable in the world, but not enough to have ruined any of the experience for sure. So that was a good time. How realistic do I think this could happen in F1? I think maybe. I would love secretly if there was ever a story that came out that the drivers were in fact dating. It's going to be a while because F1 is an incredibly conservative sport. And so I would just I think it would be great. They would probably have a horrible time being in the sport and dating one another just because of all the backlash. Oh, one of my favorite things, actually what I wish would happen, Max Verstappen kind of does this, and sometimes Lewis, but she would get really snippety with the journalist in the journalist, because F1 does a lot of media, and I kind of wish. And then the guys defended her, like her boyfriend and her brother would defend her too, like stand up. And sometimes I wish collectively the F1 drivers would also beef with the media, because sometimes they ask the stupidest questions. Actually, they ask the same shit over and over again. And I'm like, how many times can you ask about how well a race weekend's gonna go, or the tire, or the aerodynamics? Sometimes I'm just like, and what is the point of all this media if you say the same thing every single time? But anyways. Yeah, it was a solid book. I don't know what I'm going to read next, because I think my audiobook that I had is returning itself back to the library. And I think the other book I was interested in is only on Hoopla, which means you can't send it to your Kindle. And I don't think I want to bring my iPad with me to Austin. So I don't know. So I'll catch you guys in the next clip, which will probably be a couple of days from now. Oh my God, I'm watching qualifying. Max went straight into the wall. That's crazy.
Not even the cat-like reactions of Max Verstappen could do anything in that scenario.
Dude, swap! Dude. Oh my God. These new regs, dude.
Unlike Antonelli, if he does make it out for one lap, he's doing extremely well to be anything but last.
Alright guys, here's the sitch. I don't feel like reading the other two Formula One romances. I don't. I looked at them. I read like 2 lines and I said, oof, no. So instead of finding other Formula One romances or whatever, because if I'm honest, this new year I've really been in a true slump of sorts. I can't be bothered to read, and that's a bummer. So I'm thinking, there goes the AC. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, since I'm sat in front of the Australian qualifying on my television, that I would just give my thoughts and or commentary of that, just to add a little pizzazz to this vlog so that I can post it. Oh my god, Lincoln Park is at the Australian Grand Prix. How fun. They're in little seats. They look like they're on a roller coaster. You might have just seen the clip of me gasping because Max is out in Q1. Locked up. Banana beans. I gasped incredibly. I could not believe it. And then I was like, I might as well turn on the camera. It was also quite odd to see so many people out. Granted, it's just like one more additional person out because there are 22 people instead of 20. But the way it filled the screen is bananas. Also, Mercedes got Antonelli's car out in the 2 hours between FP3 and quali. He wrecked that car. And he made it. He's into Q2. Bananas. Bananas. It's just wild to me. It does. One random thing is it really makes me sad that Daniel gave Max permission to have the 3. I get it, they're broskies and Daniel's been out, but it makes me sad because Daniel's my favorite driver. And I just don't, it's so weird seeing, I know Max also likes 3 and that's the reason he's 33. Or was 33. But I'm like, whoa, that's still Daniel's number. And it makes me sad because I have stuff that has 3s on it. And I'm like, the layperson's going to think I'm a Verstappen fan. And I'm not necessarily. And I don't want people to think, you know? It's a bummer. It was really all not that serious. But I'm just like, why can't you just have 33 Max? But I guess he's exercising his free will. You know, he wanted 3, he asked for 3, and he got 3. He probably would have changed it next year anyways, and I guess it's nicer knowing he got the blessing, I guess, from Daniel. I also wonder if any of the teams are ever going to invite him, or if he's ever going to, like, want to be back in the garage. The garage. Because I saw a GQ thing on TikTok that was like, now that I'm a fan, and I was like, ooh, tough. Okay, Q2 starting. Alex is out in Q2. The start is going to be delayed because Bortoletto's just trapped. They can't get to the car. Oh no. That's bananas. Anyways. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is a longer clip than it needs to be. Also, Gasly lost like a wheel cover. This whole qualifying feels like a hot mess. I was watching free practice and the fact that cars were just like dying. It's ridiculous. Catch you at Q3. Q1 is red flagged. Because they let Antonelli out of the garage with like the things that cool the ducks. It's crazy. And then Lando ran over it and shattered it everywhere. So now they have to sweep the road. This feels wildly chaotic. Not wildly, but it feels more chaotic than when I feel like typically the first race itself is like this. Not necessarily qualifying. But what do I know? Oh! I think it's about to get going again. Just ridiculous, dude. Kimi is provisional pole with less than a minute. But George is about to come over the line. Provisional pole for George. Oh, by the way, Bortoletto couldn't get the car to work, so he's out. He's number 10. Who's that, Hamilton? No, Leclerc. Bam. There's head jar. It can currently. Time's up. Time's up, folks. Time's up. This is it. Lewis. Wow. So it's George Russell on pole with Antonelli locking out the 1-2 babes, but Hadjar is third. You got Leclerc, you got Piastri, you got Norris, you got Hamilton, you got Lawson, you got Lindblad, and you've got Bortoletto. Wow, not what I was expecting. Wow. Tomorrow should be really interesting. Apparently Russell's favored to win the championship this year, and I don't know if I see it, but sure, you know?
Everybody, you can feel the excitement of the mechanics and sometimes just extra pressure. Here is just business as usual.
We are hoping to speak to Mercedes team principal.
Dude, there's a whole... Oscar really did crash out. That's so unfortunate. Here's the thing. I need to go find a video explaining, like, the new regs. Because what the fuck is active arrow, overtake zone, and straight mode? I thought straight mode was DRS, basically. Because they open their back wing. And I was like, so active arrow when they get to go on straight mode? Because what the fuck is overtake detention? Like detection. Is that when you're allowed to have what you would have done for DRS? What is going on? Also, they are taking so long to get off. Like get going for the formation lap. This is going to be a hot fucking mess. A hot mess, babes. They're lining up. And the first lap always makes me want to vomit. Oh! There's a safety car.
The last car is in place. We'll get a 5-second pause, and then it will be time to look to the lights. That is the agreed procedure. Here we go.
Here it goes. Oh.
It's time for some action. Our journey around the world to crown a champion is about to begin. Formula One in 2026 begins when the 5 red lights go out.
Oh!
Season is underway. They crawl the line. And Hamilton's going to have an unbelievable chance to go to third. He didn't get a good launch. And Charles Leclerc to the inside. He's done it. What a start for the Ferraris. Charles Leclerc goes through. He climbs 3 positions.
Damn.
And takes the lead from 4th on the grid. Charles Leclerc, George Russell, then Isaac Hadjar.
Oh! Ow! They need... this stressed me out.
Kimi Antonelli is already down, and what an absolutely superb getaway for Arvid Lindblad, who's into 4th. Charles Leclerc, then George Russell, Hadjar, Lindblad, Hamilton, your top 5. They teased it in winter testing, they delivered.
Charles really said, I'm gonna get this win, motherfuckers. He launched himself.
And this now is not on the script from Mercedes.
Leclerc's initial getaway wasn't actually as outstanding as we expected. Hamilton was almost coming through for the lead as well.
Early battling. You've got Pierre Gasly putting the pressure on Esteban Ocon. These two starting together. Be a really horrible around the outside. That is very, very close there. Between the two Red Bull drivers. Hamilton's got a good about to go wheel to wheel. Are we about to go 3 wide?
Oh!
Lindblad finds himself getting through. Lindblad to 3rd. Hamilton to 4th. And Hadjar down to 5th.
Unbelievable, Arvid Lindblad.
Hamilton then gets up to 3rd.
Yeah, because I was like, he wasn't gonna keep that.
Yeah, well, if anyone doesn't know his name, they do now. He went wheel to wheel, toe to toe with the sister team, but it's the big sister. And absolutely brilliant wheel to wheel racing, but advantage Ferrari on that start.
Okay, the first lap's done. Jesus. You know, they never explained.
George Russell is sweet.
Oh! Guys, Hulkenberg is out. He never left the pit.
In this new form of Grand Prix racing, when do you want to save? And when
What do you... Why? The way Charles and George just keep flip-flopping back and forth is bananas to me. Also, Max already, from the back of the grid, already into 10th.
He's playing his cards. He's playing that observation card.
Jeez.
And immediately back, pass, repass.
Oh! And Hamilton is up his booty.
Takes it back from Russell, and he's looking inside. Russell can't get by. He can
Woo!
but he can't hold it. And now joining the battle, the 7-time champion of the world, Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, and has he flat spotted slide of the tyre?
Russell locked up, and then Hamilton was right there. This whole battery deployment thing is also banana beans. Yeah, wear your stuff out, Georgie.
Last time that you went racing with
I want Lewis to be on the podium, please. He didn't get a real podium last season. Which makes me upset, because then it was like his first season since he's ever entered Formula One without standing on the podium, even though he won a sprint race. And I feel like that should count. Oh, and here we are. Adjar's out on lap 11. His car's smoking. Ooh, it's about to get dicey. Box, box for Norris. Oh, who else is coming in? Ooh, Gasly's in the pit. Ocon's in the pit. Sainz is in the pit. Oh, Lawson pitted. Alonso's pitted. Stroll's pitted. Why is Stroll's in the pit? He's at 34 seconds. Oh my god. George and Antonelli in the pit.
They've done exactly that. They're going to get their cars into a little bit of clear air here.
Albon's in the pit. I hate when they do the pit on the side. You can't see the screen.
Yeah, but what's going to be interesting now, Mercedes are in their own race with fresh tyres. They're not doing the...
I don't know if you can see. Ooh! Ferrari fucking up everything all of the time. Yeah, one of you bitches should have gone in to get your tires changed. Yeah, because I was like, and the safety car is gonna end. Ferrari stay fucking up. Somehow I missed the fact that Alonso is also currently out. When did that happen? I guess he went into the pit and never came out, huh? We're at lap 17. And Max is where? Up to 6th, babes. We're about to get another safety car because Bottas is in the grass by the pit lane. Oh, but then they're going to close the pit lane. Virtual safety car, which means nobody's going to be able to pit, right?
Lap 18. It's now Bottas, Alonso, Hadjar, Piastri, and Hulkenberg, who have retired.
Yeah. Started with 22 cars. We only got 17. We're at lap 21 out of 58, if you were curious. Oh, only the Ferraris haven't pitted. If you were curious, I don't know if I told you Max is up to 6th. I'm sorry. They put... How does Alonso go back out? How does it... What does that mean? Yo, what is happening? I feel like I'm watching a brand new sport. Also, update. They pit Charles. So now he's... Where is he? Oh, he's behind Antonelli. I need to know how Alonso goes from being out to back into the race. George gained 3 seconds in 4 laps. There we go. That's more accurate. Alonso is 9 laps behind. 10 laps behind. How? Hamilton just pit. How is that possible? Oh, another virtual safety car, baby. Looks like a front wing barge board. Of whose car? Sergio. Oh! It came off, flew over him. Alonso's back in the pit, baby. Is Sergio gonna go in? Can I see the side of his car, please? He's gotta have a huge hole in the side of his car. And nobody cares. It's just like, okay, we're just watching Antonelli and George. Sir, show me Sergio's car. Show it to me. Yeah, Alonso back in the pit. Has not left. Also, what I think is funny is that they keep saying, here on Apple TV. And I'm going to be like, babes, I'm watching this on F1 TV. I really hope that my subscription works past September. Fingers crossed. I was like, I wonder if I can make it through this just whole season. Because if I renews in September, then I just have October and November. And I was like, I wonder. I'll catch you when something else exciting happens because we're on lap 37. Alright, well. The race is basically finished. There's just like a couple that need to cross. George won. Followed by Antonelli, then Leclerc, then Hamilton, then Norris, and Verstappen. That's the top 6. Top 7, 7, Behrman. 8, Lindblad. 9, Bortoleto. 10, Gasly. And somehow, Alonso came back on and went back in. And Stroll went back in and came back out again. Like, what? My thoughts. Not an overly interesting race, but an interesting one nonetheless. A boring interesting, if that makes sense. Alright, well, I'm going to leave you guys here because I'd like to go to bed. So, I hope you enjoyed. If you didn't, live your best life. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.